Did you notice that the person you were dating was somewhat distant sometime July last year? Did you realize that family members were really fixed on their phone somehow the middle of the year last year? It was not because they were cheating, it was because they were fixated on the events of the year. July 2024, Nigeria stood still, the internet was shut down. Everybody across the globe was talking about just one single wedding, and I'm talking about tie the knot. Ilorin was put on the global map, and people who didn't even know who we were got to know who we were because Aisha and Malik were getting married. It's a year down the line, and we need to know, talk to the bride, putting such a big wedding together, what really happened. My name is Shala, and you're going to be talking to Aisha. All of you saw her only wearing beautiful dresses. Now let's hear her talk. She's a doctor, she's a philanthropist, she's a mommy and daddy's girl, she's a very cool, chill person. She's not your definition of the bridezilla, but she pays attention to every detail. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride. Now she's now she's
like, you guys,
married.
In real life, I'm a very shy person. A lot of you probably, okay, maybe not, but some of you may know me because I'm an internet person now, but like, I'm actually very shy.
Don't be shy. So I'm going to be putting you on the spot and asking you all sorts of questions. And by the way, guys, this is not rehearsed. So some things she would hear if she stops and doesn't answer, don't be shocked. It's just because she didn't say comment.
Uh-oh.
So I told
Shola,
you.
please.
Don't worry, just keep your fingers crossed. So let me ask you a question. Let me start from the bottom of the pot. In planning the wedding, what was your biggest fear? The day you discovered, oh, we are going to have a wedding, what was it? One thing that was scaring you?
I wouldn't say scary. There's a lot of things I found scary. My family, we have like a thing. Whenever we have events, somehow I'll end up fighting someone. And like, this is the first time it would be about me. So like, I definitely prayed a lot about like not fighting anyone. I would say that was a fear I had. But like, before the wedding, I always talk to my mom about this after the wedding. And I hope I remember all three. My wedding was not long before Ramadan. So I had like prayer points that were about the wedding that were very consistent. And I think the first one would be is like, there's a lot, you guys, some of you will know that like I call a lot of people my sisters, and then I have my friends. So my biggest prayer was like that my sisters and my friends never fought. And I would say until the they didn't fight, really, to be honest, they didn't fight. Towards the end there was a bit of drama, but everyone got along. The people that I needed to get along got along, and this like seamlessly. Everyone still even talks to each other to today. So I was really grateful that God answered that prayer. Then I think another prayer I had is like, I didn't want my wedding to be dead. So like, if you guys can't tell, we put a lot of effort. I didn't think my wedding would blow. That was not really my goal. I wanted to like just have really good memories of the event, and I wanted to create a scene. And I'll be honest, okay, maybe I did want it to blow, but like growing up, I always said to my mom, I said this to my mom actually like last week, that when I do a wedding, I will show Ilorin what it is to do a wedding. And I actually successfully did.
Oh, yeah, we did. Okay, so I get that. So now let me ask you this. From your perspective, one major thing that we all knew, like everybody who's watching this video will understand that if you ever want to make reference to what looks were like for a wedding, you ate. You regurgitated, you ate even again, like you ate and ate and ate. But in all the looks, right? Which was the hardest to pull off? Not your favorites. Which was the hardest to pull off? From maybe getting a designer to make the outfit, getting yourself into it, fitting it, but which was the hardest to pull off?
So I thought I was going to struggle with that when you first asked me that question, but actually when I think about it, the answer is so easy. It's actually the smallest event, henna party. Which, yeah, I know. I did not have a dress for that. I think I came back to Nigeria. My wedding started July 8th.
Yeah.
I came back to Nigeria June 10th. I bought that dress June 8th. That is how long, and I knew I wanted to wear a ready-made English dress. That is how long I went preparing things. Mind you, I started making my clothes for the wedding in general, like really early, like September, maybe even a little bit before that. So imagine how long I had been researching for a dress. I changed this dress more than 5 times. I have like 4 or 5 sketches from different designers. It just was not giving me what I wanted. Wow. So I went to Nordstrom and I really just picked out like 30 dresses. Hopefully someone can insert them into the video here, the different ones. And it was me and my younger sister Aisha. We just literally went through all of them. And then we stumbled on the dress in question. However, the original cut, you guys can tell I'm a bit busty. The original cut was like very low. So obviously I can't wear that. So then I don't have the idea. Shola will know, I come up with really crazy ideas. I was like, you know what?
And last minute at that.
What if I buy two of them and I use the second one to create a top?
Ooh.
And that's what we did. So me and my stylist, which was Empress, went back and forth about this a lot. But being fair to her, she didn't understand what I meant when I said create a second top. She thought that I was going to buy one dress and like cut out the bottom, use the bottom to make another top. So she kept on meeting with designers and they were all saying no. And I kept on being stressed out, like, why are they saying no? Like, this thing I want is so easy.
Basic, yeah.
Like, if I have another dress, you take the second dress. You guys, I don't know if you remember, it's a ball gown. I think someone will insert a picture. So the whole bottom is one piece of fabric. You can easily create a corset top. Eventually, I found like a designer that me and her both know, and I asked her, and then I eventually explained it to Empress a bit better, and then she got the vision, and within a week, I had my dress. But that was the last. I didn't know what I was wearing to henna party.
I genuinely wouldn't have thought it was that dress off my head. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have thought.
I don't think anyone will think it was that.
True. Okay.
And honestly, let me not spoil the rest.
Tell.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh, really?
Well, I also think it was hard to pull off. That was your original question. That's the backstory of the dress. Yeah. But I think it was hard to pull off because, and I hope I didn't even fail at this. You guys tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. I felt like I was going for a very like childish vibe, so almost. And towing the line of being childish but still remaining mature and like not looking like a child and also not looking like I was wearing a costume. I don't like to do my own horn. I think I did a decent job at it.
Oh, you did.
And the biggest instrument for me was my hair. Doing my hair in a high, an up, what do they call it?
Updo?
No, it wasn't an updo. Half up, half down. Yeah. Doing my hair in half up, half down, kind of like, it made it more of like a person. It made it less of a character. Kind of gave it like a sexy-ish vibe, which is what I was going for. Like I wanted to turn it into like more of a, I don't want to say Gen Z, but like guys.
Oh, okay. So now in all the days of all the looks, if you're going to give the crown to one dress, which was your favorite look?
I can't give the crown to one dress because I liked.
Oh, really?
I liked everything I wore, but I liked them all in different ways. I can maybe do two,
one,
maybe even three.
One.
I can't do one. I can't.
The first one you blot out is obviously the one. The first one you say is actually the one. Every other guy comes second. So
to be fair, there is one that's in the forefront of my mind.
It's the same.
But it's going to be one that no one else cared about. But it's the process I liked, and I liked the idea, and I liked the execution, and I liked even just my tailoring experience. Like, everything was just good about this dress. And it is not Saturday's dress. It's Friday. Not the dress.
Friday?
What I wore to Ariosa, the like pinkish purple crystal outfit.
It's a big.
No,
are you serious?
That is my favorite look by a long shot.
Wow.
And I also think that that's the most that aligns with what I wanted to look like in my wedding. In the mood board I had given Miss Tammy from Lavish, shout out to her, that she nailed it to a T. She gave me exactly what I asked for. I told her, I want to look like jewelry. I want to look like money. Like I want to look like, you see this babe,
like
I want to look like jewelry. There's a bride that had done it a year before. Shout out to her. I don't know you, but you ate. She had done like gold. I don't even know. Was it circular wheels? I know that. I think her mom or her owns Kubis. She had done like a gold outfit that looked very like metallic and it looked like armor. Man, Mofo, bastardly. When I saw that clothes, I loved it so much. And that was like my inspiration for the whole jewelry thing. But I didn't want to look like anyone else. So I said, how can we do something jewelry-like, but that has nothing to do with this? And that's where we started from.
Oh, nice.
So she's like, okay, she gave gold. Why don't you give something higher? Why don't you give diamond? Why don't you give like a stone? So that's where it was birthed from. And then she got to like fabric drawing. Mind you, she drew this fabric like with her hand.
No way.
Then she sent me different color stones, different stone shapes. We started this dress in September, like long before the wedding was out. We had selected stones. Then I didn't even know this, but apparently they had made the fabric and they messed up. And then I think the factory closed for Ramadan. Like they were having issues. Her factory is in like one of those Blackistan countries.
Ooh.
So she was having issues with the fabric, but she knew I was so in love. She never let me know. I found this out maybe 2 months ago, like way after the wedding.
Wow.
And then when it came to sketching, you guys, that fabric comes like it's circular wheels, but they're all spaced out on the original fabric. Tabik saw it and she's like, yeah, we're not doing this. She cut up the entire fabric, the entire 6 yards, and turned them all into circular wheels and connected them back again to make
what we then saw.
Yes. Or no, actually, she didn't connect them back again. She stuck them individually on. So like, she basically deconstructed all our work, but she ate.
No, we did it. Ooh. Nice. Okay. So, if I'm going to ask you this, should just deviate a bit from the clothes in terms of the events, right? There was Mother's Day, there was henna party, there was a surprise bridal shower, there was everything. But which was your favorite event of it all?
You know,
Let me keep my fingers
answers.
crossed.
I had answers, but I think this I actually cannot answer to. I cannot answer one for sure.
Okay.
I would say maybe 3.
Kudos to the planner, guys.
Henna party.
1.
Henna party was the event I hosted myself. So like
True.
I really was detailed about that. So I look forward to it because I really had so much to do with it.
Yeah.
I had so much to do with every event, but like that was like my brainchild.
Backstory: every single little detail of that henna party, to the straws.
Yeah.
To the straws, the plates, every single thing. Like it was detailed. We didn't. No single stone was left unturned. I'm telling you. Like looking back at it, truly, henna party was.
I really liked that event, and I had fun at that event. I think that like even the bridesmaids, that was when I got to hang out with everyone.
True.
Then Mother's Night was fun. That was actually the same day. Mother's Night was so fun. I really had a good time at that. I wish it was longer, but it was fun. Then after party. Guys, after party. I don't know what you guys saw on the internet, but it really was very unrepresentative of how fun that party was.
Oh, if I ever post what happened at the after party.
Shola, please, no, we didn't do anything bad.
No, it's not about doing bad. It was just the level of fun because the people that you had seen all week being all bougie, then you now see them like.
I can't lie, everybody went mad. Do you know, I kept on saying when I was there, and I think it's the dumbest thing, and I'll advise every bride I know, take a change of clothing. Get some leggings, okay? In case you want to throw ass. I was so frustrated that I wanted to rip that dress off my body so bad. I really just wanted to be comfortable. I was comfortable, the dress was very comfortable, but I really wanted to let loose. I did, but I didn't do it to the extent I could have.
Oh, true. Nice. Okay, so if I would ask you this, grouping it into 3 major categories. Your media guys.
Oh no, don't do that.
Your media.
No.
Your ambience. And your style. You know.
I actually can't. And I feel like if I answer this question, I'm betraying like people that really mean to a lot from you. I'm close to literally people in all 3 sectors. Like,
okay.
They're in my life now that we talk like at least once a week.
Oh, nice. Okay, no, so to everybody in this sector, this is not to downplay what you did. We all know that together we give the wedding of the year. But, you know, in terms of, you know, just
who
looking
did the
back
best
at it,
job?
like, yes, for you, who do you think?
Who did the best job for me during that week?
Yes.
Timmy and you. No debate.
Timmy and?
You.
Please echo that again. Oh, are you serious?
Without debate. And Empress.
Oh, yes. Backstory with Empress, guys. I'm not supposed to, but I will, because she deserves it. Empress originally was not even meant to be on the wedding.
No.
It was and this is what I tell every single vendor every time, right? Don't see any gig as small. Take it, nail it, run with it, and it will take you exactly where you ought to be. Empress was for pre-wedding, and it was a pre-wedding. Okay, let's just get a stylist, right? Because she already had put all her things.
You're not saying the story right. So Empress joined us for pre-wedding because I needed someone to help me like dress up.
Yes,
like, somebody
who would be like a bridal assistant kind of thing. Yes.
But then when she came, she kind of just took over. She was telling the photographer, no, she should do her.
I literally have to ask.
No, they should hug each other like this.
During the program, I'm like, okay, sorry, what's this girl's job exactly? And it's like, because she was everywhere. I'm like, oh, I really liked the energy and the vibe, and it was right there and then. Remember that day that we had a conversation? I was like, Shola, talk to her. Let's see what you take.
No, you didn't even tell that part right. Shola, you're not telling the story well. That was pre-wedding day 1. Pre-wedding day 2, I didn't have anyone to do that. So literally, I was there. I was doing my makeup. I was like, Shola, I can't do this. Like, immediately call Empress. And like the camper she is, within the next hour, she was there. She was there.
Unplanned, unasked. And you know, there are times when people have their heroic moments and they're supposed to be heroes. So like literally, some people walk into that moment and be like, okay, feel like a star. At all, she goes straight to it from the door. Straight to it from the door. No, Empress, your flowers. No, she gave it. And from there, Isha was like, oh, Shola, we have to plug her into the learning. And I remember asking her, I'm like, I think I've been to learn. She's like, yeah, like, do you want to come? She's like, and she knows that events like this, everything seems to be sorted. I said, that's not the question. Do you want to go? If you would come up. And she came through, and trust me, Empress was, every day she was going, I'm like, why does she have to go? Literally.
You know, she even asked me at one point, like, should I stay?
Yes.
But the truth is, she, like, love Empress and value everything she did, and she was amazing. 10 out of 10. But Timmy's like my mom. Like,
Timmy's like my mom. You know, Timmy had been there in the long journey.
So I knew I wasn't worried. I knew that at the end of the day, I would be taken care of. I was like, you know what, no. And I didn't want there to be like any clash. I didn't want to even create that kind of tension. And as I said, Timmy's like my mom. Like, she's young, but like, I really,
that vibe.
Yeah, no, I really love her.
Okay, so taking it from there, in all of the whole wedding, I remember people sending me DMs like, Shola, is this girl on steroids? How is the bride doing? I can't even pull off one day. She's doing a whole week. But in all of this, you were very effortless. You get, I'll give that to you as a plan. I have brides that will not do half of what you did, and they will switch up on everybody. But you were very effortless with everything. Even though you had your moments, it was really maybe me and you were talking, you're like, oh, you get, but it was not.
So I did do a good job. I'm not taking that away from myself, but I can't lie. I ate everybody up. I yelled at you. You remember that?
Yeah.
I made Shola cry.
Guys, big boys don't cry.
I made Shola cry.
I swear.
I made my sister Mariam and my sister Aisha cry badly.
Crazy.
That was a kind of mean. If you guys see this, I'm very sorry. I made everybody. I wasn't a bridezilla, but I was I was on 10. And I was on 10 because I was tired. So I wouldn't say I was all the way a bridezilla because I think I was still nice to everyone. I think.
No, you were relatively.
I did a lot of mental preparation to not be. I won't say I passed 100%, but I would say if it was an exam, I would have at least gotten a 70.
Oh, def. So to my question originally,
I think I even yelled at my mom. I yelled at my dad. There's nobody that didn't get collected.
Even grandma.
I didn't yell at her though.
No. Yeah.
Please don't put this in. Don't put this in.
So my question originally now is this: what stressed you out the most?
I had a rehearsed answer to this, but I don't remember what it was. Actually, you know what? I know exactly what it was. Henna party day, which is the second day of the wedding. We just started. At this point, I don't even remember what the story was. They were having driver struggles. Normally, my driver is my mom's driver. I share my mom's driver. But my mom, if you guys thought I was stressed, my mom was stressed times 100. I was always worried. I actually even said to my mom, like, my mom was so calm that I was like, okay, I was worried that she was going to have a heart attack. I was really worried about my mom. So I was like, yo, let her have what she's at least used to. I can struggle. I can finesse with anybody. And I get along with all my parents' staff. Nobody would not want to drive me. I calm down. I didn't think there's a planet where there's not even a driver 24 hours here. I come downstairs and I'm standing fully dressed. There's probably a video of this somewhere. In fact, I've seen footage of this somewhere. Fully dressed. I'm standing outside the hotel. Where's my driver? No driver. What do you mean, no driver? I don't even remember who told me. Guys, I just started screaming in the lobby. Like, I broke down. I remember Mommy Sarah and Uncle Larry ran from one end because they saw me screaming from somewhere. And they told me to calm down. Then I called, I don't remember, I think it was my daddy's best friend, Daddy Funshaw. Uncle Funshaw. I called him. And I remember him saying that I'm putting him under a lot of pressure. I said, I don't care. Like, I actually don't care. Like, this is my wedding. If you guys can't get me a driver, why are you all in a line? And there's no point. I should just go upstairs and sleep. And I remember I sent my sister a text. I'm going to bed. I'm not coming anymore. I don't feel like doing this. I'm stressed out. This was day 2 of like day 5 of 500 days. I now went upstairs. Everybody was begging me. Everybody was begging me. And I'm not that kind of person that likes to be begged. I don't enjoy it. I actually really was just exhausted. I wanted to go to sleep. And I just was no longer in the mood to go. Mind you, also, my mom and her sisters, everybody was late. Nobody was there. I was like, why am I doing this? And this was supposed to be like my event. So it was really hurting my feelings. Eventually, everybody begged me to go and I went. And then by the time I got there, Mr. Flowery gassed me up. I felt good.
So backstory, what she didn't know to all of this, because I think that was Henna party day. Remember, there was a loss in the family.
There was a funeral.
So there was a funeral that day in the family. So everything was somewhat directed in that motion. And I remember even Momsi, who was super pumped about Henna, could not do so much because everybody had to go to the funeral. So it was a case of that was priority at that point. But the Isha was priority.
Which they're not wrong. And I'll be honest, I was fully aware at the time. And this is going to make me sound like a bad person. I'm not. I just had drawn so much. I was so excited for the event, but I was just struggling to be sympathetic. Normally, looking back at it, girl, you'll be all right. Like, I would have been fine. Looking back at it, this is what I would have told anybody. Like, that's just so much more important than my little henna party. And I see that now. But at the time, I was just so hurt.
True.
But looking back at it now, it's like, I needed to be for real.
And they all, I can't believe Momsi came through that. I was like, oh, nice. Okay, so now let me ask you this.
Love you, mama.
Let me ask you this. If there's one thing I know about the wedding is we all thought the bride ate, but guests were not joking. Family members were not joking. Like, I remember when I started posting Harley's videos, people will ask me like, okay, is this your bride after this? I'm like, oh, that's the bride. That's CBM. I'm like, are you joking? Like, she had looks. So I'm going to ask you,
about this.
if you're going to say, who do you think overall for the wedding was best dressed? Apart from you and me and your husband.
Before I answer that question, I do want to say one thing. So, like, one thing about me is the statement "we rise by lifting others" is something that means a lot to me. So, like, if I look good and everyone around me does not look good, it means nothing to me. I don't look good. There's no point. Literally, right before this interview, I had to wait an hour for him to change because I needed him to look as good as I look. That sums it up. That sums up my personality. I need us to give the same energy. Do you understand? So before my wedding, if you speak to my mom for 5 minutes, she'll say this. I used to cry because I didn't feel my mom was putting in the effort. I said, Mommy, I want you to dress better than me. Like, Mommy, I need you to give. Like, and my mom was wanting to like wear a velvet boo-boo. If you guys know my mom, she loves to wear boo-boos. I'm like, what? Like, Mommy, no.
Not on my wedding.
I need you to be better. I want you to attempt to dress better than me. You see that I want you to attempt to dress better than me is what I said to everybody. My bridesmaids, my sister, my man stylist. What's my man stylist name again?
Hots.
Yes. By the day, if you see this, you remember this conversation. Yeah, so that's the energy that I came with. And even with my sisters and my bridesmaids, I wanted everyone to dress really nice. I did not think anyone would beat me. Funny enough, I don't even have confidence like that. I don't know how I knew I was just going to be dressed way better than everybody else. But I wanted everyone else to try. I really liked my looks that I didn't think I would ever feel intimidated by anyone else. Now, who was the best dressed? My sister. Okay, outside of Hallie.
Okay, outside of Hallie.
Different people for different days. Different people won for different days for me.
Let me start from the grand finale. Reception.
Reception would probably be Yinka.
If you were not calling Yinka's name out, I was going to literally show you a video. I'm like, girl, Yinka.
What? I also really like what Tofrati wore. I really like what Chinelo wore.
What? So you know I love you, but what? Yinka? No.
I also loved what Hanan wore, and it was super simple, but I really liked it.
No, I think for Yinka's look, what
but Yinka
the most
Yinka
was she bodied it.
She followed my prompt of trying to dress better than me.
Yes, if you watch the video, there's a video of when she just God, that girl bodied it. I'm like, no, she. Okay, so Area song.
I'm sentimental to Tofrati because I hope this doesn't get us in trouble, but it was a sketch someone made for me for something else that I gave her. So
girl,
I was really in love with that sketch.
So when
I saw it actualized, I really liked it.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know. I should have looked at people's styles before this.
I think so.
I loved Mariam Kofo. I love what she wore too.
Oh yeah,
That was really nice.
Then the day before that was okay. In the morning, when it was wearing white. A day before was Thursday was
Sisa.
Ijoloma and Sisa, yes.
Yeah, I love Nicole.
Oh, nice. Then Wednesday was Mother's Night. Yeah, henna party and Mother's Night.
I'm sorry, and I know that she doesn't count, but I'm obsessed with what Halle wore. Now, a lot of Halle's outfits, I should, because I micromanage the crap out of her. Like, I went to every consultation with her. It was her style. She picked out her style, but I really was involved in that process.
Yeah, I remember we went for one of the fittings together. Two of it.
Probably, and yes, that was another sketch that she stole from me. But we tweaked it a lot. We tweaked it so much you couldn't even relate it to one of my dresses. But it was a sketch that I had from someone that like we tweaked severely. It didn't even look like the same thing. But hopefully they insert it. Did y'all see her waist?
Like,
somebody asked my mom if Halle removed her ribs.
I said she was like this. She was like this. Okay, then you're welcome dinner.
I liked what everyone wore.
True, the black was very.
But I thought the person that was one of the people that was most creative was Chinelo Z. I really liked those red beads at the bottom.
I liked Sarah's outfit too.
Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah's outfit.
I can't lie, facts, and designed by me. 100% chosen by me.
Sarah's outfit is really nice.
She doesn't like her outfit.
What's this?
She didn't like her outfit. We had to convince her that it was nice.
No. See, I like that outfit so much. Like, I have it saved on my phone, literally.
It wasn't designed by me, but it was very much chosen by me. No, she ate.
No, she did. It was a beautiful outfit. Beautiful outfit. Okay, so 2 more questions before we wrap this up. If every single day you saw your husband, you guys met at media rounds or take pictures and all that, of all the looks, which one was it for you? I think I can guess, but let me see what it is. Because I think, the beauty of it as a planner is every time you see the bride, maybe when she's seeing her husband for the first time, you try to study both their reactions to see if there's anything turning them off or anything. But there's a particular one that I could tell she just wanted to rip him off.
Okay, I know that is the winner. But there's a story about another one that I would.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I went with Malik to most of his fittings, except at one point, him and Biode kind of told me to fuck off. So I didn't get to see pictures from them. So it's the 2 I didn't see pictures from are the 2 I want to talk about because those are the real first looks.
Yeah.
That would be the reception and the after party.
Yeah.
I had no idea what those looked like. Now, the reception outfit that Malik wore, Biode is going to laugh at this. We fought severely. Like, after we fought about this, me and him stopped talking to each other.
Ooh.
That's how bad that fight was. I kind of stepped out of doing Malik, like participating in Malik's clothes, because they couldn't see the vision I was going for. But at the end of the day, I am a bride, but he's also a groom. And I felt like I was overshadowing his groomness with my brideness, and maybe I was just not stylish enough to see what they were seeing.
Okay.
Right? But at the end of the day, because I think there was even a conversation where I cried on the phone, I think they kind of just succumbed to me, and they gave me what I wanted. But I kept on explaining to them, like, the reception vibe, because we're trying to choose if Malik should wear a suit, he should wear like a fancy kaftanish, it's kind of like an innovative kaftan, or if he should wear an agbada. And I was Team Agbada. I was Team Agbada, hands down. And they were not. They were more on the other 2. And they ended up giving me my way, but I never knew in what way. At that point, I didn't care. After I cried, I was like, yeah, I want nothing to do with this anymore. Whatever you and your stylist want to do is good by me. And on the day of the reception, right before me and Malik climb on the stairs, Biode says to me from afar, he's like, Aisha, I totally get it. Now, I am so sorry. Bro, that's why I got on stage and I started laughing, because I felt so vindicated in that moment. And I loved what he wore. I think there is a first look of me seeing him in that. That gold, I didn't think a man could wear gold and pearls, and I would find it attractive.
8. No.
8. Like,
his
10 out of 10.
Tone, it was just
Biode, 8.
Spot on.
Shout out to Biode, shout out to Ugomoye, shout out to Malik, because that was...
And he bodied it. He has this courage and charisma Okay, so
No, but wait, my favorite outfit was by far, by a long shot, the after party outfit.
finally she says it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you saw him by that after party stand when you were coming, you were just looking at him and saying,
Nah, I can't lie, he looked too smooth.
it was a
I'm excited again because he
thank you to
looked
my
too
man.
smooth.
Oh, that was nice. Okay, so now two questions. I said two earlier, but this one I have to ask. If anybody was going to get married today and they come to you for advice, being a bride who has done it all, right? What would be one major advice you give them for the whole wedding process? One major advice.
So I was really tired. And normally, because that was my experience, my answer should be like sleep. My answer is not sleep. My answer is practice to be awake. Because you don't want to miss it. I'll admit, I have very few memories of that week. I remember the wedding through video, but the only way I would have taken those videos is if I was up, taking content and doing all of that. I know that, like, to our parents and stuff, content creating and all of that is BS. Do that. Even if it's what you will contribute to your wedding, make sure you have content creators and stuff like that that you will like, because there is not, till today, me and my mom go and watch it just for the memories.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, I think that would be part of my advice is make it memorable, whether it be by content, whether it be by pictures. Don't compromise on that. I think that's my best advice is make it memorable in the best way you can. It must not be the way I did, but in some kind of way.
To also buttress what she said, I think one of the things that helped us prep for the wedding was the pre-wedding. Because remember, day 2 of the wedding was how many hours? Was it 15?
It was from 9 a.m. to midnight.
It was crazy. I think I have a video of it where we're like 15 hours and it's a wrap. And that was not even the wrap. Because after we said it's a wrap was when Big H now said, oh, I see something. I'm like, what? These people will not stop saying one thing or the other. But I think the fact that they could pull that, because I remember having a conversation with Malik that day, and he's like, okay, he thinks that whatever mindset he has about what the wedding will look like, this wedding has prepped him. So it sort of put him in that mental space. So when the wedding week came and I was going to meet him to say, oh, he was like, trust me, if you can pull off that pre-wedding with work at that point, I can do this. And
I'm being fair to him. During the wedding, he was such a champion. If you ask Malik about his perspective of the wedding, he was boring. He was bored.
Are you serious?
I swear. Because I took so much time to get ready and he used to have to wait for me.
Yeah.
That man was bored. He watched movies.
Okay, so now this is a bit more personal. Like in the whole wedding process, right? There was a lot of back and forth. You get with me and you, and kudos to you. I want to give. I said I want to give you your flowers about this, but I think this is a very good moment to do it. One thing that Isha really did for me in all of this was she was the ringleader of the Shola Can Do It band. You get? She was the ringleader.
Mommy, this is where you comment. Mommy, this is where you comment. This part is where you comment.
She was the ringleader of the Shola Can Do It band. I remember at the beginning of the whole process. You know, in all honesty, now I'll tell you this. I remember the day this call came through. You know, so this is not me undermining my abilities. It's just a question of, there's some things in life that you know that they're out of your league. I remember after that call that day, I was telling my best friend, I'm like, they're just whining me. Don't be me go eventually drop. You can say, like, I didn't say, in all honesty, I did. So at some point, he was like, oh, no, don't say that. I'm like, okay, worst case, maybe one day. In all honesty, like in my head, I'm like, worst case, maybe one day. Like if they're giving me just a day for the whole week, like I was good. But when the whole thing was going, they were like, okay, yeah, what was that idea? But at some point when there were little issues here and there, I remember I built my confidence in this whole process from the confidence Isha had in me. There are times when Isha would speak up on my behalf. I remember at the beginning, if you remember, I could not question some things. I feel like, Isha, I think she'll be like, no, Shola, say it. This is, I'm like, you want to rebel.
So to buttress his points, like a lot of people know this. My mom is the sweetest person, but she's a tiger. She's a lion.
So it's a tiger that I like. She's my lion too.
And I've grown up with her, so I know how to deal with the tiger and the lion. But she's frequently misunderstood. She comes from very good intention.
Trust me, she
and
does.
When she's lioning, she's actually just trying to make you a stronger person.
Yeah, and I will tell you this to buttress what you said. Right now, after doing your wedding, there is no bride. I can't sort of handle. There is no bride's mom. Like you can't be more extra than. Are you joking? What level of extraness can you possibly want to have? Do you get what I'm saying? Like it was not. So it's the events that you do that somewhat they somewhat reshape your perspective about the entirety of what you do, and this was one of such. So even when clients come now, I'm like, I say it's nothing. If I survive that week, bring it
Not the
on.
same. So, insight into my week. I don't know if you guys will remember this hair, but this was a week in April where I did my makeup every day. And this week, it's honestly very similar to my schedule right now is very similar to my wedding schedule. I've been up at 4 a.m. every day since last Friday, and today is Friday. And I'm doing it right. And I'm breaking down, but I'm breaking down more because of other things. Like my skin is kind of rashing up because of all the makeup I'm wearing and stuff like that. But am I actually physically exhausted? No. But I'm having to remind myself to eat. I'm having to remind myself to drink water. And I'm falling back into the negative cycle I was in the wedding. But I can do it now because
I did it then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like I was saying, if there was, so I'm super grateful for you standing up for me at that point. I'm super grateful for you speaking up. I'm super grateful for you, holding my hands through it, because trust me, like I always say,
hold your hands.
People always see the whole like it seems like I did it all alone, but trust me, now it's easier for me to even manage clients that are in different time zones, because with Aisha, when she's calling, she's not even aware that Nigeria is at 2 a.m. because something dropped in her mind at that point. I will have to talk about it, or maybe I have an issue I'm dealing with. She would wake up, we would talk. It was a fantastic process planning your wedding, because for me, in all of it, and I think even when issues arose at any point, you were my focal point. Like at the end of the day, it's priority, it's the bride. Because I know that at the end of the day, everybody will eventually dance back to the tune of what you want. And even if they don't dance back, as long as you are dancing to that tune, then I'm fine. You get, so I'm super grateful for that. Now, finally, I want you to look straight into the camera, right? Now you're going to do 2 shout outs. Shout out 1 is, I know you must have done it to her personally, but I want you to give a shout out to your mom in all of this process.
My G. No, my mom, I always tell her, there are no words, and I might cry. There are no words. There aren't actually words created. Mom, there are no words. Let's just say it that way.
Don't make me cry. So, if I would echo it on her behalf, I think the most beautiful thing is, now there's a video I'm going to give to the producers of this to put in this, because nobody has that video apart from me. Backstory: there was a day Isha had to do something in the bathroom and they were stuck.
This is a good story.
Yes,
this was on Nikah morning.
Yes, Nikah morning. We were rushing to make sure that we got there on time, and mommy and daughter needed to have a conversation in the bathroom because we were all in the room, and voila, the hotel bathroom door wasn't opening. I was like, what? I remember they opened the windows because it was a see-through bathroom.
I don't do well in confined spaces. I get very anxious. It's a phobia. And she knows.
She was somewhat in the bid of wanting to calm her down, and also managing the pressure of the fact that we're already running late for Nikah. We didn't want to run late. And trust me, people came left, right, to try and fix that door. And guess who eventually fixed it? Superwoman herself. Because it was mommy that opened the door. Mm-hmm. There was no other person. She just kept doing, and she eventually opened it. I'm like, nobody else to turn to, but actually Momsy at that point.
Me in the back, I'm busy having an anxiety.
I'm telling you. In my mind, I'm like, I was already thinking of how we're going to stream this thing, because she's just going to collect her sadaki from inside this place at this point. But it was, mommy really, she I think the most beautiful thing about it is, and planning a lot of weddings, I can say this, a lot of times there's usually a struggle. And the struggle is this: when different people want to be stars. You know what I'm saying? Mommy understood the concept of the fact that my daughter shining makes me shine. And me shining is not in any way to inhibit how my daughter shines. And I think I really like that.
I have to give that credit to my mom, but I have to give that credit to every single person in my life. Everybody actually left it for me.
True.
Including my mom. Everybody left it for me.
True. That.
Every single person understood, like, this moment
is for you, have it. Truly, because Hallie could have, she could have...
Anything Hallie did, and I feel like a lot of people under Hallie's comments were a bit harsh. Anything Hallie did, I told her to do it. all that extraness, all those videos. It's me that told Opie, go and
Yes,
add
now
video.
remember what was the word? Um, Trying to schedule the content creators. You know,
Yes, Harley had her own.
yes, we
schedule,
had to schedule something specifically for Harley, and she was not even in the know of this
Yep.
because it was us thing. We scheduled this and say, okay, when Uppy is with us, Zenchi is with her, when Zenchi is with this is that, and that was how we pulled it off, and it was really nice. Now, okay, that shout out to Mom C. Now,
I hope you're giving the second one to the right person.
yes,
Okay, I know who it is. Yeah.
Okay, so there's going to be three.
Okay.
Three, because there's that, but somebody just crossed my mind now. Now the second person is one person that I have a lot of people in my DM asking who is the original mom of the bride because she bodied it. So this is your moment. Tell Sarah to the beautiful words.
My mommy, Sarah. To be honest, to describe her is to describe my best friend. Is really to describe my best friend, and it's just in such a we got so close. I wouldn't say in a short period of time. It's not the right word to use. But like very deep. It's a very deep relationship. It's beyond words. I don't want to say I said I have no words for mommy, but like she's not my mom, she's not my mom's sister, she's not my dad's cousin, she's my best friend.
And I think to also further buttress that,
so like,
there were times
can I say that she was supporting her sister, she was supporting her brother, yes. But she was she was on your she did all of that extraness for me. And
I remember there were moments where we experienced stumbling block on specific things. The only person who could talk to at that point was Sarah because she was the one.
She's also a very level.
Yeah, she's the one who will call you and say, like, Shola, you understand that chat is room, I'm and trust me, she didn't act like she was an aunt. She was the mother. She was the friend. She was our body.
The thing is, and she did it within like perfection because like people got the energy that she was here to give, but nobody ever felt like okay, she's the barbell Nigerian thing.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to outshine.
No.
She's trying to. She like everybody did exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Even her, she was a bit shy.
Yes.
She did not want to do too much until to me too. I started crying. Yeah, you have to do more. You have to give. I want you to give as much as mommy.
I remember on the reception day when I told she gave a speech at reception.
And I used to always ask her, I'm like, are you going to let her outshine you? You can't outshine you. You have to beat mommy. I used to use psychology for
both of them.
Yes.
I remember on the reception day, I was like, I looked at the whole wedding process and I just felt like this woman needed a moment in the spotlight because she was not even looking for that spotlight. I think that was it for me. And I remember I just walked up to the MC. I'm like, dude, somebody has to talk at this wedding. And he's like, I said, I'm telling you, hello, planner here. Somebody has to talk at this wedding. She didn't have the prior knowledge. And I walked up to her and I was like, oh, that's something came up, but you have to talk. She didn't even stress. She's like, Shola, don't you think? I said, there's no thinking. You are talking. Do you guys say, at that point again, what should have been her moment? She was wanting to offer it to other people. I wasn't having it. I was like, no, it has to be you. The other people, I just looked for something to say to her. And without prior notice, she effortlessly did it. Yeah, and that's just her. That just describes her. Now, finally, I think there's one unsung hero in the whole of this wedding process that I think we genuinely need to give a shout out to. And it is.
I know who it is.
You can't know.
Oh, okay. That's not who I think. Continue.
Who do you think it is? Yeah. So for me, I just feel like he really is the hero of the story, and the hero-ness of him is the fact that he did heroic things without even wanting to be hero-like. You get what I'm saying? So I noticed that a lot of times in weddings, it's all about the women. But in this question, I think Daddy deserves a shout out.
He does. Absolutely. Now, I've called everyone my best friend, but like my dad is like, I don't even know. Like I think I would say that there's nobody I gist with better than my dad. And for sure, everybody will tell you that my dad tells me the most of everybody. My mom gets information about my dad from me.
Daddy, now you know.
Like that's my G of all G's, and like he was just so elated for the whole process. And I think like my dad is a super calm, super chill, doesn't really care about much. His daughter getting married was something he cared about, and even like because I know his personality, it was just so off-brand. It's so off personality, not because he doesn't care, but he doesn't care about anything. That man just if he has somewhere to sleep, if he has food to eat, if he can get to work, he's satisfied in life.
Now, backstory that you are not aware of. Okay,
I do want to say that like When we finally got the confidence to tell him, okay, we're ready to start wedding planning and everything, I'm not joking, the next day, he dropped the entire budget of his the next day. He said, I've had this ready for years.
Wow.
I've been saving for this for years.
Wow. Daddy, I'm getting married soon, no? Okay.
Not because, please, I don't want to say that so where it looks like my dad is one superlative odogo. No, he's been saving. Go. I want to make sure that you know that he had a savings account for this.
He has to save. It's his first daughter. Now, backstory, because you and I want a picture of this. Now, I've done a lot of weddings of, for lack of better words to use, this level. And a lot of times, the fathers are usually just, there's a Messiah effect that you just get. It's all about the moms, and we just put daddy on that pedestal of being the Messiah. But I was shocked on the day, because I remember when I was doing the floor plan for reception, I kept trying to struggle to want to make sure that he was adequately catered for. So by the time he eventually wants to arrive, he's not left stranded. Guess who gets to the venue even before me? Daddy. So when he arrived, in my mind, I'm like, okay, he just wants to do a final check just to see that everything is going right and he's leaving. I'm like, oh, daddy, everything is set. You can go. When you come back, he's like, I'm here. I'm like, no. He's like, I'm here. Daddy was there to actually welcome each and every, like, if there's a word to describe, he was excited. I think that was the moment. That was when I really saw that, trust me, this man is pumped about his wedding. He was there on time. He didn't hustle. And one thing about him, and which I think is it just becomes like a family thing, he was really bothered about every other person too. Because I remember after I showed him, okay, that is where your guests are, he's like, where is my wife sitting? Where is Sarah to do? I'm like, you won't expect that. No, I'm telling you. He made sure of it that they were adequately catered for. He asked, he's like, oh, where's Sarah's space? Where is Skinny Cut? I'm like, wow. And he genuinely made it easy for us. Daddy didn't stress. Daddy showed up as I when Daddy was supposed to show up. Daddy partied. Daddy had fun. But let's girl now.
No, that's my guy.
Yes, girl.
Dr. Shoot.
Okay, so guys, so it's been fun talking to you, Isha. Thank you so much for doing this. Now, I want you to understand one thing. This is 1 year of bliss. This is 1 year of beauty, and
I'm glad you circled back around to this.
And 1 year of understanding the fact that one event happened, one event shook the internet, one event, but it's sometimes good to hear from the perspective of the person who really was the star of the entire show, because it was easy for everybody to build narratives and just think of, oh, this is why this or this is why that. But having to sit down was really very calming. Now, for any bride out there who wants to be Aisha, I think the first step you should understand is just be you. Aisha didn't start this journey wanting to be anybody else. She genuinely wanted to be herself. I remember the first day I had a conversation with her. She used 3 words to describe what she wanted for her wedding, and I noted those things down. And those were my building blocks for every single line item she asked me to do. I'm curious what they were, because I don't remember. I'll tell you. Every single line item of anything she wanted me to do, you get circled back to those 3 words. That is what she wants. This is where her head is at. And don't try to be Aisha. Don't try to... I'm not asking you not to get inspired by her. I'm just saying, copy is not the word to use. You get just, the entirety of this week, she reflected herself. She reflected her values. She reflected her desires. And it was all about her and her family and her friends. So if you want to do something at this level, let it really be about you. Let it really be about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Get inspired by others, but don't necessarily copy them. Also, as a bride who is saying this, remember one thing.
What are the 3 words, Shola?
I'll tell you. Every single thing that was done with and about this wedding was within the confines of what everybody can accommodate. Do not, in a bid of wanting to do a wedding of this level, break the bank.
I have to second that. I'll tell you, Shola, how many times have I told you? If you gave me an unlimited budget, that was not a wedding.
Yeah.
I could have done 1 million things more. I don't know if I want to say this out loud. Now I'm a bit shy because I'm not grateful for what I got. I had a fantastic wedding, but my point is to say that there's always more you can do.
Yeah.
But cutting your clothes to your size is always something you want to remember, because one thing I will tell you, there is life after the wedding. So how many times the mommy used to say, after the wedding we will eat.
You get so, and even some of the extraness that you even see our planner, and we're the ones that will push and say, "Mommy, do this." It's not like there were loads of cutbacks to say, "Oh, no, 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 no." I remember Isha would come and trust me, guys, to wrap this up. If there's one thing that you want to see, which is like the biggest thing, I think they should put it at the end of the day, but blur it out. You don't want to see what the Excel sheet for this event looks like. Like,
I don't even know.
Like-
There's like 7 different ones. Mommy's. We have to put. If we put one, we'll put mommy's one. Mommy
Yeah.
was mega sheet.
yes, that
But
shit.
all of us had huge sheets.
Do you know what it means for you to have a sheet and it's on your phone and it's like you're joking if you want to view this on your phone? I take it to my system. I'm like, where exactly are we starting this journey from? You get it? And because there was no single stone that was left unturned, no single stone, down to accommodation for a driver coming in from Lagos. Every single thing was detailed. There was no strand. There was nothing that came up and we're like, oh, we did think of this or we're not aware of this. We went as far as making decision for cars that we didn't use.
Yeah.
Remember our rental guy?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We made decision for cars that we didn't even use because there were more than enough cars to accommodate those people that we had made preparation for that thing for. But above all things, guys, make sure that when your big day is coming, enjoy it. Be true to yourself. Stay within the confines of your budget and have memories. One of what we're having right now.
I also say, and I hope I don't sound weird, that like within no matter what budget, it's not always money is a ginormous chunk of it. It is 80% of it. But you see that 20% that's left? It's creativity.
Come on, come on.
Ain't it funny how love hits you when you least expect it to? Anytime, any place, it can come.